Championship Monday. Come on, baby. Oh, our team is reunited. And back, so good.
My dog.
RC back with us, and Orlovsky and Rex and D-Wood. We are ready to go. Put your feet up. I'm not taking a break for a long, not a long time. Roll it. Kansas City last night, the scene of the AFC Championship game, the epic battle, the fourth meeting between Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, and it lived up to the hype. Midway through the second, Chiefs down 3, 4th and 1, using his legs.
Of course they do this. Of course they put the ball in his hands and roll him out to the right with multiple decisions, and he keeps it himself. And then they get man coverage. Xavier Worthy wide and release off the stack versus DeMar Hamlin. An easy touchdown versus Kansas City.
Chiefs up 14-10 now on a 3rd down. How about RC? This catch from Xavier Worthy in traffic.
Xavier Worthy has really found himself. We've been waiting for him to explode on the scene. Early December, he started to come around. Now, this is the catch that's going to be extremely questionable. It looks like the point of the ball hits the ground, and we all know, yes, the script says KC has to.
Play would stand, and then it's Mahomes, and Danny will take it himself.
It's the same play they ran on that 4th and 1, essentially. They go get him out to his right, multiple options. Defense bails, walk-in touchdown.
21-10, but final half minute of the half, it's Allen, it's Matt Hollins.
What a great throw. Man coverage, all-out pressure with double teams, one-on-one, beautiful throw.
We go to the 3rd quarter. Bills a 2nd and 5 at the 25. Hey, Rex, looky.
Here comes Cookie. Evan Toole. I love this guy.
A 33-yard run for James Cook later in the drive. How many 4th down conversions did we see in this game?
I mean, what I love about this is they went for it on 3rd down, gave the ball to Josh, come right back, put it in his hands, a physical run by the big-time quarterback.
Speaking of physical, on 4th down, this time they pitch it, Dan.
One of the plays of the season, just remarkable effort by James Cook to get in.
22-21 Buffalo, 4th quarter, 4th and inches, and here's the controversy of the night.
There's no controversy. It's a terrible call. It's a terrible call. It's a terrible review. Everybody on the planet can see where the ball is. Don't use it as an excuse to not overturn what was an obvious first down.
They do not give Allen and the Bills
I must be blind.
You don't see it the same way.
Yeah,
we'll have plenty of time to argue this. And let's go back the other way because the Chiefs get the ball, and here comes Juju Smith-Schuster.
Who would have thought in September that you would say, here comes Juju Smith-Schuster in the AFC title game? He showed up and made big plays, tough tackle with the ball in his hands.
Speaking of big plays and tough, 1st and goal from the 10. How about Mahomes?
Well, first off, how about the call to put the football in Patrick Mahomes' hands, and then for him to understand they're taking the dive, I'm going to pull it, a lead by Travis Kelce, big-time touchdown for the future Hall of Fame.
Chiefs up 29-22. Here comes Buffalo on a 3rd down.
Well, what a remarkable season for Mac Hollins. He became a go-to player down the middle of the field, outstanding. You get 4th and goal, go for it. You got to go tie the game. Curtis Samuel does a really good job of scraping the back of the end zone and keeping his feet in bounds.
And so we're tied. Critical moment here. The Chiefs in the scoring area. Buffalo makes the big play.
And this feels like the play that they needed. Oh, my gosh, they are finally going to get it done. They're going to hold this offense to a field goal and give their quarterback a shot.
And so now, the drive of his life for Josh Allen. This is the moment. This is the chance. The scramble here gets him a 1st down. But now, we're going to show you the entire sequence that leads up to this 4th and 5. But here you go, 4th, and the season essentially on the line.
And everybody in the building knows here comes the blitz from Steve Spagnuolo. It's the corner blitz. They don't account for it. He does an unbelievable job of getting his ball off. And at some point, really good job by Karlaftis not taking a flag. At some point, go make a play. Dalton Kincaid, I know it's hard. You got to go make that catch.
The ball goes right through his hands. That's a play that, I get it. It's a hard play, but it's a play that has to be made. Frankly, it's a play the Chiefs always make. So Kansas City gets it back. They need 2 first downs to end it. There's one of them. So now we got a minute 35 to go. The Bills are out of timeouts. 3rd and 9.
Perfectly called. It's perfectly called. You understand you're going to get man-to-man from the Buffalo Bills. You sneak Samaje Perine through the line of scrimmage, and Patrick Mahomes delivers the football right where it needs to go.
The Kansas City Chiefs are on their way back to the Super Bowl after an absolute classic. After the game, the quarterbacks.
It's not about one guy. It's not about a couple guys. It's about the whole entire team. And when we needed the defense to get stops, they got stops. Offense, we made plays. That's why we're so special, because it's a team effort and it's a team football game.
It's not fun. But to beat the champs, you gotta beat the champs, and we didn't do it tonight.
That's tough to watch.
Yeah.
It's tough to watch. So, look, as I said, we have a lot of time to dive into this. We've got the little picture. We've got the big picture. We've got the controversy. We will cover all of it for you here. D. Wood, you made an analogy in our meeting this morning that I really liked. Let's start with Patrick Mahomes.
You know, I'm watching the game, and, I'm just thinking to myself, Patrick Mahomes is like Tiger Woods on Sunday wearing that red polo. In that moment, when Tiger on Sunday and you're in that group, you feel his presence. You know he's coming. You know when it's time to make that critical, putt, that critical, play, pitch, he's going to make it. And so you know what happens? His competitors get tight because they know Tiger Woods is not going to get tight. He's going to make the right play. He's going to do that. And so that's what we're seeing from Patrick Mahomes right now. All these guys are playing spectacular, but you know what he does? He makes the right play at the right time, and the other guys simply cannot make those plays.
D. Wood, look, all year, Greeny, I've sat up here and said, this is not the same Chiefs team. They're vulnerable. They're this. They're not this. They're not that. They're not this. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And your point, D. Wood, is so good about your Tiger analogy. Look, everybody on the Kansas City Chiefs expect to win. That doesn't matter. We're down. Who cares? We got Patrick Mahomes. We're going to win. We're going to win. And you know what? So does the other team.
Yeah.
The other team knows it too. They flinched. You can't do it. Josh Allen was searching for the words. To beat the champs, you got to beat the champs. You got to knock the champs out. To beat the champs, you got to knock the team out. Take it out of the judge's hands. And you know what that includes? All the excuses. All the penalty, how about the calls, whatever. You flinched, catch the ball. You are a first-round pick. This is one of the most amazing throws I've ever seen by a quarterback. Catch the ball. You flinched. And to me, the coaches flinched. They have no answer when Spagnuolo kept running those zero blitzes. You know what their answer is? My quarterback will bail me out. That ain't the answer when you're a coach. They flinched. And unfortunately, the Bills flinched at the biggest moments in Kansas City. They do what they always do. They win.
Yeah, it's another reminder. Patrick Mahomes has one rival and one rival only, and his name is Tom Brady. And honestly, everything that we say about Bill Belichick, respectfully, we should say about Andy Reid.
Amen.
As
Amen.
well-coached and well-prepared football team and organization situationally that the Patriots ever were, okay? I think the thing that stands out in the game is it is remarkable to watch how every player, when they need to make their one play, makes it. Everybody in their role, when they need to make that one play, makes it. Think about it, the final play of the game, Steve Spagnuolo brings the one corner blitz that they have all game, and it gets home. And I agree, it's an unbelievable throw, but it gets home. The two-point play, Justin Reed dives in from the outside in to stop Josh Allen. That's that one huge play in the game. Juju Smith-Schuster, we need you to go make a play. He makes it. Xavier Worthy, Kareem Hunt going to get tough yards. Justin Watson with the two-point conversion. Every time they make a play, they make a play. This is where the game swung for me. There's 12 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. It's second down. They throw perimeter screen. They're retraced by the defensive lineman. If he doesn't make that play, it's a first down. 3rd and 3, next play. They kick the perimeter. Watch Tranquil at the line of scrimmage. Close and retrace. Shamari Connor setting the edge. This creates that 4th and 1. Then the 4th and 1 happens. And now I agree or I disagree. I think it's a clear first down. But those two plays on 2nd and 3rd down give them the chance to get the 4th down and make the play on the field. And then you go to that last drive. This is the 3rd down. We check as an offense versus all-out pressure. This is a touchdown by Amari Cooper if George Karlaftis doesn't retrace. You never know what play is going to be the game-winning play. Kansas City's the one team that has that figured out.
Can I say one thing? I'm sorry, RC. I literally had a flashback when you were saying what you were saying just now. The only thing I kept hearing in my mind was Bill Belichick kept what he always said: do your job. Do your job. You talk about all these guys making plays. Isn't that really what it is? Yeah. When it's your time, do your job.
That's it.
You talk about the catch, do your job. Make the play. When it's there, make the play.
Yeah, but I also think when you mention Tiger Woods, like there's something to be said for consistently being there, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Winning is a habit,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Courage is an action. Confidence is a practice. And that's what the Kansas City Chiefs are. Think about the way that this team has been building to this point the entire season. You get into training camp and you need running backs. Isaiah Pacheco gets hurt as well. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is dealing with some things mentally. And so you go out and you get Samaje Perine when he's cut from the Denver Broncos. You bring back Kareem Hunt when you need to spell Isaiah Pacheco. And he becomes your number one running back. Samaje Perine makes a play late in the game. And think about all the ways they've prepared for this moment throughout the season. The Chenault block against the Denver Broncos. We see that rear its head again against the Houston Texans. And now Patrick Mahomes gets 23 days to rest. An ankle that's bum, right? He's walking around like young Steph Curry. Now he's healthy, and they use him as a runner in the game in the AFC Championship. Now go to the last play of offense for the Buffalo Bills.
4th and 5.
Right? It's the same exact person who blitzed Brock Purdy on 3rd down in a huge play in the Super Bowl. Now you bring Trent McDuffie again. All of these names that we are bringing up have been in these positions, and I get it. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, they're the cheat code. Patrick Mahomes always makes the play. But you think about this team in its entirety, they're always prepared, and more than anything, they usually execute, which other teams don't do.
I've never watched a team, and maybe New England, that when the play has to get made, they make the play. But you just never know when the play is. I mean, sometimes it's the second quarter stop, and all of a sudden, we didn't know what the 2-point conversion was going to be impactful, but they stop them twice on it. You just, every time that there was a moment that somebody needed to make a play outside of Patrick, their champions step up and make those plays.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say this, too. Like, we know Andy Reid, you mentioned, in the conversation with the best coach in the history of football.
I know what you're going to say.
Absolutely is. Steve Spagnuolo, if there was in the Hall of Fame an assistant coach, Steve Spagnuolo would be right there, right behind my dad, going into the Hall of Fame.
Rex, he blitzed the corner one time last night.
And you know what? RC and I were
5.
talking about this. We know the blitz. You know why it was the corner? Cut split.
Yeah.
If not, it's going to be the safety. But either way, he beat the protection. Here's the issue I had. He out-coached, all right, Brady on the other side in those situations during the game. Why? You never change your protection. And you never give a coordinator like Steve Spagnuolo, you better have multiple ways of protecting the quarterback. You don't, and he got.
But the other piece of it is this, though. The Buffalo Bills changed the entirety of the way they played football based on their roster. Also, in part, to win this football game. The Buffalo Bills are the mesh kings of football. They're always in condensed splits, especially in extremely important moments. It's the same way you beat the Kansas City Chiefs when you played them during the season. Steve Spagnuolo knew that. Right? Steve Spagnuolo also knew that you're going to go with the quarterback sneak, so why don't we figure out a way to stop what's been an unstoppable play this entire season? But that goes to the preparation, but it's also Chris Jones understanding where to be on the quarterback sneak, Justin Reid understanding where to be there, and having a play or having an adjustment in your blitz that if we get a wide split, the safety can come, but we'll bring Trent McDuffie, because what does that allow me to do? Disguise.
Right.
You're not going to change your protection because you run mesh all day and we run man all day. Now let me hit you with the game changer because I've been here. And more importantly than because I've been here, I've won here. That's a totally different feeling. And you know it, Rex. You know it, Dan. When a team feels like, hey, man, we ain't just practiced for this.
Right.
We've been here in real life. It's a different feeling than hoping you make the play.
So there's so many elements of this. And RC, last Monday you were at your son's national championship game. There was a lot of debate here about how much blame belonged to Lamar Jackson, and that right after they lost that game. And I was sitting here saying Lamar Jackson I thought was the best player on the field. You can't blame him at all. I will take that and I will multiply it by 1 trillion for the way I feel about Josh Allen today. Now, no one is going to blame him for the game last night. I want to throw up for him watching him after that game last night. If Dalton Kincaid catches that ball that candidly he could have fair caught, we're going to say that play by Josh Allen is going to go down with some of the greatest plays that we've ever seen, because there was exactly one quarterback in the entire league who could have made the play that he made in that spot. And to your point, Rex, you said it, this is a ball that in a big spot like this has to be caught.
I've never witnessed anything like I'm witnessing with Buffalo.
Look at that play.
It's a remarkable. Greeny, I think it's the most haunted organization. It might be the most haunted player in the history of the NFL. I mean, 4 straight Super Bowl losses 30-plus years ago. And now 4 straight losses to Patrick Mahomes when your quarterback plays just as good in all those games. The point differential in them is 5 points. We're talking about the difference between a career that we could categorize as an all-time great and just really good right now. I love Josh. No one, I don't think, in the media champions Josh more than me. He got the ball back, down 3, with a chance to go get it done.
And he threw that pass. That's what I'm talking about.
What we got to stop doing is acting like that's an easy catch. And I get it. We're weighing in all the circumstances of the blitz coming free and Josh fading away. But when you look at the play from all 22, in a perfect world, he just throws it to the sideline and Dalton Kincaid continues to run under it, but he can't because the pressure gets there. It's a difficult. This isn't the Mark Andrews catch from last week.
Right.
This is a difficult catch, but it's also the plays before that. And you look at this game in its entirety, Josh started off this game reckless, right? If we're looking at the stat sheet, Josh Allen fumbled the football 4 times, right? And if we're talking about other players, we're going to say that these things happen. I, too, agree. I do not blame this game on Josh, but I also say this, and as for Lamar, last week, Lamar didn't go win the game. Josh Allen didn't go win the game. So whereas as they're sitting at home, and I won't say that Lamar Jackson didn't play well enough, I won't say that Josh Allen didn't play well enough, I can say they didn't play well enough to win. And Patrick Mahomes, for whatever it is, always seems, or most of the time seems, to play well enough to win. So if not for Josh, then win with WH. If not now for Lamar, then win. Because this dude ain't done playing.
Patrick Mahomes now has the second most playoff wins of any quarterback in the history of the National Football League. He is 29 years old. It's almost impossible to believe. I've got a million stats. I mean, we can start with that now. Cindy, put up a 19. Mahomes and the Chiefs
TV talk, people.
Are the first team in the Super Bowl era to make 5 finals in a 6-year span. Since 1970, here are the other teams in history that have done that. You can name the players that were on all of them, right? The legendary Islanders teams that won 5 cups. That's Gretzky and Messier on the Oilers. The Lakers of the 80s is Showtime. That's Magic and Kareem. The Yankees, obviously, with Derek Jeter and all those guys. The Warriors, that was Steph in that group, and now here's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. You don't see the Patriots on there. You don't see any other. You don't see the 49ers of Montana or the Steelers of Bradshaw or any other football organization. We have to have, if they win in 2 weeks, we have to start having a conversation.
It's the greatest dynasty of the Super Bowl era. Why we got to start having the conversation?
Okay, fair enough.
Listen,
we are actively having the conversation.
Listen, I was part of a dynasty. Even I said in the meeting, they go out here and finish the deal. They're the greatest dynasty in the history of the NFL. Yeah. I mean, if they go out here and win a Super Bowl, they've done something even the Patriots dynasty has never done. Win 3 straight Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Think about that. In professional football, with all of these great quarterbacks, all these great teams, for a team to go out there and possibly to win 3 straight Super Bowls, it's ridiculous. It's unheard of.
Yeah, I mean, it's never been done. It's never been done. And what we're seeing is, look, especially with all the moving parts in today's game, right? The salary cap and all that, it's impossible to do what they're doing, and yet they're doing it.
Because they have the 2 most important pieces. They have, just exactly as the Patriots did, they have the all-time coach and they have the all-time quarterback, and that's how you overcome all the other systems that are designed not to allow this to happen. But for what it's worth, they've already gone farther than anyone else ever has. No back-to-back Super Bowl champion has even made the Super Bowl the following year. So the Chiefs are already a step ahead of anybody ever. As we continue. Incredible morning live from the Seaport. We're brought to you by Patron. Perfection starts with Patron. Very quickly, we did a magnificent piece on it yesterday. You're talking about how the Bills come back from this. Marv Levy, their legendary Hall of Fame coach, read them a poem after they lost one of those Super Bowls by an Irish poet named Thomas Moore, in which he said, "I am hurt, but I am not slain. I will lay down and bleed a while, and then I'll rise and fight again." And a bunch of players came up to him on the plane and asked for copies of that poem, and that was sort of their That was their cry, and they kept coming back. They made it to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all 4. I consider it one of the most courageous achievements in the history of sports. It's what the Bills are going to have to do. After an unbelievable day yesterday in Kansas City. If you did not stay up late last night, you missed an absolute classic. We've been on it all morning long. Let me show you some of the pictures from it here. It's Allen, it's Mahomes. Going to pick it up 3 minutes left in the half. Chiefs up 14-10, and Dan Xavier Worthy makes an incredible and maybe not actual catch.
It's also a remarkable throw by Patrick Mahomes to get this ball off. Worthy goes up and in many ways just rips the ball out of Bishop's hands. And somehow, I think that ball hits the ground, but it doesn't move. So they keep it as a catch.
And then what does Mahomes do down by the goal line? What does he always do?
Use his legs. He gets outside of the pocket. We saw this play early on in the drive. And again, Patrick Mahomes being that guy that goes above and beyond in the playoffs.
Chiefs up 21-10. Were they pulling away late in the half? How about this throw?
Yeah, this is sick. They go double team the outside, play one-on-one down the field. Matt Collins with a great contested catch versus McDuffie.
Went for 2 and didn't get it, so it's 21-16 now. James Cook.
That's a speed option, Dan. You only do that with special quarterback, and what a pitch and a finish by James Cook.
Again, they go for 2 and don't get it, so it's 22-21. Fourth quarter, Bills, 4th and inches. This is a very controversial moment in the game. I think all of us think Allen has the first down. They wind up overturning the call, Red.
Yeah, I mean, it's a horrible call, but it's the mechanics that they got to explain to me. You have one guy clearly had the thing spotted as a first down. The other official didn't. I don't understand.
Instead, back they go the other way. And D. Wood, what does Patrick Mahomes do? What he always does.
All right, he runs it in, utilizing his legs. He makes the plays that are needed to be made.
Yeah, sort of struggled with the spike there.
But at something.
Chiefs up 7, but back comes Buffalo. This is a 4th down, RC.
This is a great play. Curtis Samuel climbs, gets to the back of the end zone, and Josh with a dot gets both feet.
Then the Bills need one big defensive play, and they get it on the sack.
Yeah, this is the moment where you sit there and go, this starts the unbelievable comeback. They finally are going to force a field goal. Buffalo is going to get the ball back. And this is what happens. In the most crucial play of the season, Steve Spagnuolo dials up the one-time cornerback blitz in this game. Buffalo doesn't get it protected. Josh is running for his life. Karlaftis does a great job of not driving him down into the ground for the flag. Dalton Kincaid tries to make a great catch. He doesn't.
Pretty simply put, he doesn't. The Bills turn it over on downs. The Chiefs were able to run out the clock just with a couple of first downs. They got one of them, and then here's the second. Samaje Perine.
A huge play.
But of course they're going to throw the ball with the season on the line to
Samaje Perine. And that's all she wrote. Quarterbacks. One goes on, one goes home.
Funny, dog.
It's not about one guy. It's not about a couple guys. It's about the whole entire team. And when we needed the defense to get stops, they got stops. Offense, we made plays. And that's why we're so special, because it's a team effort and it's a team football game.
It's not fun. But to beat the champs, you gotta beat the champs, and we didn't do it tonight.
So similar to the look and the sound and the feel of Lamar Jackson last week. It's what Patrick Mahomes does to you. What did you react to when Patrick was saying what he was saying there? I heard you reacting. What were you reacting to what he said?
Well, look, all season long, I've been saying, this is not the same Chiefs, man. They're not this. They're not that. They're not this. The hell they're not. Yep. They're an unbelievable football team. And when he said it about, it's everybody. It's not just one guy, meaning himself. It's everybody. Offensive line got better. Vulnerable all season.
Yeah.
They played their asses off. You got, defense, same thing. Oh, hell, they're not as good. And all. Well, they showed up in the big moments. Special teams, the hidden yardage in this, they had a big plus in the game. And you know what? Let's say what we say. Andy Reid? No, he's right there with the greatest coaches of all time.
Yes,
Why?
Sir.
His team is always prepared. Situational football. They totally outcoached the Buffalo Bills in the critical moments right there.
They did.
All right? Any of the short yardage things, the rollouts, all those type of things. And here's what happens. Here's what the Chiefs never do. They never flinch. You know who flinched? Buffalo. Buffalo flinched. Their coaches flinched. The players, you got to catch the football. All right? He flinched.
Dalton Kincaid.
Dalton Kincaid flinches. This thing right here. This quarterback doesn't. This guy's a beast. All right? Nobody in the damn league makes that throw. He does. 4th and 5, whatever. Crazy. But that's what happens. You can't do it. And Josh would say, hey, to beat the champs, you got to beat the champs. No, you got to knock the champs out. You got to take it from them, especially in their building. And take it out of the judge's scorecard. Means you got to be up 2 scores. They weren't.
D. Wood, you were on the Patriots in the early days of the. You have a sad
Why
look
are you
on your
so
face.
sad?
Listen, man, I've been on both sides of this thing. I have. I've been on both sides of it. When I was with the Patriots, one thing that Coach Belichick used to always say, do your job. That's what Patrick Mahomes was talking about on the field post game. As much as we try to heap praise on Patrick Mahomes, right, deservedly so, he's a great player. He's an all-time great player. But Patrick Mahomes is not in that position without Samaje Perine doing his job. Without, Smith-Schuster doing his job, Xavier Worthy doing his job, offensive linemen doing their job. It takes a collection of men on each and every play to go out there and do your job. That's why these teams come up short against the Kansas City Chiefs. Because the Kansas City Chiefs understand that Patrick Mahomes can't do it all by himself. In order if we're going to be a dynasty, you don't become a dynasty without people, first of all, buying into the culture that you have set, buying into the specific role that your coach has for you. Everybody can't be a superstar. People got to have specific roles. They just do their roles better than everyone else in the league.
Can we put up A13, please? Because here's the conversation that has to be had. They have now won their last 17 consecutive one-score games, which is by a wide margin the all-time best. Dating back to last Christmas, a year ago Christmas, I would submit that they are 23-1 because one of those losses was the last week of the regular season this year, a game they did not try to win. They literally rested everybody. They have lost one game since a year ago Christmas. One of the games that included in this, of course, is the Super Bowl last year, and now they have a chance to win another one. We have to start having a conversation. As unspectacular as they've been all year long, this is one of the greatest teams of all time. What we are watching right now is one of the great. I'm not even talking about the dynasty. I'm talking about a stretch in which you win this many games in a row, no matter how you do it. It's ridiculous.
Everything we say about Bill Belichick, we have to say about Andy Reid. It is as well prepared, as well coached, and as well executing in situational football as a team that we've ever seen. And here's the thing. They treat every play like a championship play. They just don't know when it is. First quarter, 9 minutes ago, it's a championship play because they don't know when it's going to actually impact the outcome of the game. Third quarter, 3 minutes to go, they're going to treat it like a championship play because they don't know how it's going to actually impact the outcome of the game. Just go to the 2-point conversions. Mm-hmm. You don't know when they're actually going to impact the outcome of the game because they happened previously. I'll go to the quarterback sneak for Josh Allen. The play that Justin Reid makes is absolutely sensational. Where he aligns to where he actually makes the play. He's outside of the tight end. Watch him on this play. He swims, dives down. He's the person that makes the first contact on Josh Allen. No 2-point conversion. That's a huge play. But it doesn't happen with the fourth quarter with 1 minute to go. This is the other 2-point conversion. They start with the man at the bottom of the screen. The motion comes down. They go in and out, and then the motion goes and they switch it again.
Yep.
Perfect. And backside, they zone it off perfectly, flawlessly. And they win the 2-point conversion in that play. Does it end up being the difference in the game? It does. Yeah. But it doesn't happen with 1 minute to go in the fourth quarter. Every play is a championship play for this organization.
Yeah, so in the first hour, I said winning is a habit, right? I said courage is a practice, and also, courage is an action and confidence is a practice. And what I mean by confidence is a practice is they've done that before, though, and they've done it in huge moments. The moment doesn't get too big for them. Yeah, it's the AFC Championship. It's a 2-point conversion. Oh, wait, I was in the Super Bowl last year, and I had to find a way to execute this. Oh, okay, Trent McDuffie, you're going to blitz here on 4th and 5. Oh, wait, I was in the Super Bowl last year against Brock Purdy, and I had to blitz. Justin Reid, I've been locked up against the best tight ends, against the best wide receivers. And across the board, this team has consistently been in these positions. And so now when you get into those positions against teams that are trying to figure out if this is the year I can be good enough, you already know that you are. And the thing I listened to Patrick Mahomes he's not just talking about that specific game when he says it's more than just me. He realized he hadn't been his best self the entire season. But because of that team taking every play as a championship play, they got the best player in the world into the most important position this weekend. And again, he showed up.
You know what I see with this team? It's an organization that has a simple thing. You got to get better every day. They did organizationally. Smith-Schuster, he wasn't there. Hopkins, P. Ryan. They weren't even on these.
Justin
this
Watson.
roster. We
Hollywood
get better.
Brown.
How are we
Like
gonna
all
get
these
better?
guys. Like, yeah.
But also,
How are we
too,
gonna
though,
get better?
all these dudes are there, and nobody's complaining because of culture and accountability. They're the most accountable football team in all of the NFL, and it shows on game day.
I would also argue the two teams that we're going to see play in the Super Bowl, you got evidence on tape. They're the teams that play with the best effort throughout the course of the game.
Yeah.
Philadelphia has played with the best effort throughout the course of the game more than anybody. Kansas City has played with the best effort throughout the game more than anybody.
And they have the two things you need to have a dynasty. The modern history of pro football, every dynasty has the coach and the quarterback. Lombardi and Starr, Nolan Bradshaw, Walsh and Montana, Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman, Bill and Brady, and now Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Those are the two components to this dynasty, which may be the best of them all. Bottom of the hour, wake-up call, a classic in Kansas City. Here's the radio.
Khalil Shakir in motion. Orbit motion. Now peels back to the left. Chiefs are chasing Josh Allen. He throws it up for grabs, and the pass is incomplete. Incomplete off the arm of the would-be receiver, Dalton Kincaid. You can doubt the Chiefs. You can dislike the Chiefs. You can disrespect the Chiefs. You're going to have to deal with the Chiefs. The Chiefs win the AFC Championship.
The dynasty is intact, and the band is back together again. RC and Dan with me here this morning, and so only appropriate that we do a touchscreen together. What have you cooked up for us today?
The two most important plays, the 4th and 5 stop and then the Samaje Perine catch. This is why playing in Arrowhead matters so much. So I want everyone to pay attention to two things. Number one, Josh Allen, because they're on the road, is going to give that lead kick.
Yeah.
That's an indicator I want to snap. And when he does that, pay attention to Connor and the backside safety, because you're trying to get indicators as a quarterback of what might happen.
Yeah.
When he kicks, watch those two players. There's a little indicator right there. See how they just go back ever so slightly? He goes there and he takes a 2 or 3 steps back. I think as a quarterback, now you would love to, with that cut split, to say, okay, I got a press corner, I got a drifting safety, and a nickel that's getting depth. I might be getting that corner blitz.
Right, but watch what the Kansas City Chiefs do that sort of changes that look for Josh. When we get this motion, look at Kamari Connor. He's going to communicate as if he's saying, okay, combo, combo, combo.
Yeah.
So now to Josh Allen and also the wide receivers, you're expecting man coverage. And then Trent McDuffie, look at his movement. He's starting his movement not only off of the leg kick of Josh Allen, but the film study of knowing that once we see Khalil Shakir go in motion, we can get the play.
That's such a big deal. So as a quarterback, you're trying to get this information. For me, McDuffie peeking inside also indicates I don't really think he might be a blitzer. Oftentimes, as a quarterback, if I saw the defensive back just paying attention,
They overcompensate by trying to hide.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is beautiful, and I love the point that you're making of watch how McDuffie times it. This is what RC's pointing at. When Shakir gets back there, that's the timing. The offensive line starts to go to the left.
Something off of the cut. We're going to get Brian Cook, who's going to push to the front side. He's going to take this low crosser because they're expecting mesh. And so when Kamari Connor pushes to the middle, that's how Dalton Kincaid gets open. If this blitz doesn't get there, this is a huge play for the Bills.
It's a beautifully timed, executed, and flawless blitz by Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs defense, and that's how they get to Josh Allen. Now let's go to the play to Samaje Perine. A couple things. Number one, the Chiefs 4-by-1. We've talked about it all season long that you want to get into these 4-by-1 formations. They set it into the boundary. Now they're going to flip it. Why do they flip it? Two things. Number one, I'm getting an indicator. As these two players run this way, so do the Buffalo Bills. I know as a quarterback, I've got man coverage.
And the other big thing for this game, too, was the Bills play more man-to-man than I'm used to seeing them play. So right now, they're going to understand when both of these players move over, both Johnson and DeMar Hamlin, that we're going to be man-to-man in the middle. middle with Terrell Bernard on Samaje Perine.
And this is why you do all this motion and stuff. When they motion over, and as an offense, I know it's in man coverage and the backers flip, that means Bernard, if the back leaks out to the left, he has him in man-to-man coverage. Everybody up top, you have one job. Run traffic. You want to run bodies towards Bernard, and you want to create all those picks.
And so here, this is the thing. Matt Milano and Bernard, they were playing in and out on Samaje Perine.
Exactly.
So that's going to make Bernard a little bit tighter, which makes it harder to get over. The other piece is, this is 3rd and 9, guys. They could just run this football, try to run the clock, and punt it, but they said they're going to go win it.
And see the traffic that Bernard has to get through. All these bodies that he has to try to navigate. Samaje Perine out in the flat, uncovered, one little hezzy, first down.
The other thing is, too, great job by the Kansas City Chiefs not having an obvious pick. Everyone avoided Terrell Bernard and made him run around.
Outstanding. And so what that does a great job of illustrating are the millions of tiny little things, moments that most of us, all of us, frankly, who didn't play the game or coach the game, wouldn't see and wouldn't pick up on that decide these things. And at the end of the day, that's why the Chiefs do this, right? D. Wood, you were there in New England with Belichick when he would say to everybody, just do your job. Just the one little tiny piece of this, that's you. And that's the difference. Because Allen and Mahomes have met 9 times. And in those 9 meetings, Mahomes' teams have outscored Allen's by a combined total of 5 points in 9 games. That's how close it is. That's why every single one of those makes the difference.
Yeah, you know, like I said, we tend to heap praise on the quarterbacks and the plays that they made. But when you talk about a team game, you don't know when your number is going to be called. And these things aren't just happenstance. These things are repped in practice. These things are in walkthroughs, in the meetings. And so when your number is called, that's where the do your job comes in. Okay? When the moment of truth happens, you have to be able to execute in those situations. And we talk about, you know, Kansas City and Buffalo. That's really different. It's not like Kansas City is more talented than the Buffalo Bills. It's about individuals when the play is called, when their time is called, are you able to execute in that moment? That's what the Chiefs do.
The thing I love about Andy Reid is he uses his entire roster. He's sitting back and saying, look, Perine might only had 3 or 4 plays up for that whole game.
But that play.
Well, guess, like, my number's coming. You don't think he's going to go like crazy in this? That's why this team plays the way they do. Smith-Schuster, here's a couple of plays. He shows up. All these guys in him, like, how in the heck? He uses them all. He trusts his whole team. And you know what? They get great practice. And then when they get in the game, those guys are ready for their moment.
They never treat a play as too little, and they never treat a play as too big.
It's well said. And so the Chiefs go on. They will play Philadelphia. We will talk a little bit about the Super Bowl as we continue.
How's it going, everybody? Villa Sports Network here. Just want to thank you guys for your support on the channel. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Also want to kind of remind you to don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on the video if you like as well. But regardless of the fact, thank you again for your support, and hope to see you on the next video.